haunted.
Welcome to So Anyway, It's Haunted, the mini-sode.
Hey guys, it's Ashley here. Today we're starting a mini-sode. And everything's gonna be mini.
This is what we're doing now. It's a new thing.
Why does your voice sound like that?
I'm in a coffin. Let me out.
Wow, that's rude.
Please.
I like how we set up the intro. Like you're like, and this is how we do it, and then we completely did not do it that way.
What do you mean?
We discussed before recording.
No, I was
but that's
talking
for
about
the-
that for the other one.
That's for the
other.
the new thing.
What are we talking about, you guys? Oh, well, here. Stay tuned to the end of the episode to hear some juicy, juicy news. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's not gonna translate well.
I thought you were going to quote the what was it? The sex hotline commercial that we saw. I can't remember where we saw it. But he was like, I think she said like, "You sound hot." I can't. What was it?
For some reason, I thought you were either going to go for the Star Wars one or that one that I showed you that was about
It's
rocks.
the Star Wars one. That's the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Is it the Star Wars one?
Yeah, but it's modeled after an actual one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Wait, what was the one that you showed us?
The one I showed you
him.
was it was some Tumblr post that was like, hot gyms in your area. It's like, dial 1-800 hot gyms. And it's
Ew.
like, what are you wearing? It's like, silicone ductitis. Because it's rocks.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't get it. It's fine.
Wow. Wow. You called me out on my own podcast. That's rude. Anyway, I guess we'll get to the business. Welcome to So Anyway, It's Haunted. This is the podcast where we talk about paranormal things. Like
The mini-sode.
this is a mini-sode. Typically we talk about haunted places and things, and cryptozoology and folklore and urban legends, and we read your personal listener paranormal stories. But this week, again, it's a mini-sode. It's a mini-sode. It's a mini-sode. It's a mini-sode. It's a mini-sode.
It's a mini-sode.
So we're going to we're going to revive our Creepypasta corner.
We've scoured the internet.
Yep.
We've looked at all the forum posts.
That's what we've
yes,
been
we've
doing.
seen Petscop.
That's what we've been doing for the last
That's
3
what we can
weeks,
talk
you
about.
guys. Yeah, Petscop.
On top of the creepypasta that we had.
Let's do it. Go before or after.
But also, I would like to just notify for all legal reasons in the future, we do not own any scary, insert name here, rhymes with scary characters. That was a slip-up that we didn't realize was attached to some
We already talked about that.
stupid
Mag
show.
and Ellie said Scary Terry,
Wow.
and I was like, this is hilarious.
You're passing
That's
judgment.
It. That's
I'm
it.
passing
Scary Terry.
If you
and
are
then
an
it's-
that enjoys Rick and Morty,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what?
That's
Can
a little
we
bit far, but-
actually
Yeah.
cut that? Can you actually cut that?
No, I'm not gonna. I'm
Don't
not gonna
do
cut
that.
that. You said it.
Just bleep out.
Yeah.
Well, you
bleep
said
out
it
that
again.
yeah, bleep out that I said it too.
Okay, I will. That's hilarious.
Wait, that makes it even worse. They're gonna think that I said something
You said it.
to all the that enjoy Rick and
Yeah,
Morty.
It's just gonna be a meow. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
just so
meow,
people
meow.
know that it is not in any
wasn't an
way
actual bad
racially
word.
charged or
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
it wasn't
understand.
actually a bad word.
yeah.
It was just an insult, and he was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have
can't say-
insulted." What? Anyway, McAnally doesn't cuss, and we all know it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't use the swear words.
He doesn't. He doesn't
Also,
use
look,
swears.
Look, before we go any further,
Oh my lord!
if you enjoy certain things, good on you.
What's so wrong with Rick and Morty? That makes no sense. Most of our listeners probably watch Rick and Morty.
Did
that
you
makes
not?
sense.
Did you not see the whole incident where like people crowded several hundred McDonald's and like jumped up on counters? All
about that
all
stupid
that
Szechuan sauce?
Listen, some people
Take
not
things too far.
Not
Some
Dan,
people
not
are
Dan
stupid.
Harmon, but some people are very talented that work on that
Wow.
show. That like some of the jokes are okay, I guess. And the thing is, like, if you like pseudo intellectual humor, as in like fake science, like we could totally back this up, but we're not going to kind of stuff. Hey, great, good on you. I will admit there's a few scenes that I might have cracked a smile at, but like Honestly, and it's not the show's fault per se. It's just any fan base has like its fair share of like awful, horrible, disgusting people, and it's just like it.
I mean,
it rears its ugly face.
Even the brony community has
so.
weirdos.
No way.
What?
Are you serious?
Wow, you
What's
guys
a
went
brony?
with that joke, and I didn't even get to laugh. You just went right with it. You can't steal my joke. You have to laugh.
No.
Continue.
So we're done talking about that. Anyways,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, what is the point
This
of
is a
that?
mini-sode.
What is this?
Creepypasta Corner is back. All intellectual properties of someone else are not back. So there you go. We got that.
We don't own those, so we can't.
Even if it was unintentional. So anyways,
All right, so
Yeah.
yeah.
do we want to talk about... Let's just read the thing first, and then we'll,
Okay, let's
see
do
where
Discuss
we're
it.
at.
Yeah.
Discuss themes.
Creepypastas. All right, so...
What do you got for us?
Today's story is called A Question of Faith.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Good stuff, right? You know what would be delightful? To maybe watch television, or just sit around the house, or take a ride in the car without my father bringing up religion. Father is a master at turning any conversation into a lecture about faith. Anything he reads, sees, or hears in the media is a prompt for him to hold forth a spiritual, good God this. If I've ever seen the man inspired by weather patterns, know this. There exists a power greater than anything we can conceive on this earth, so he claims. Now, the courage of faith is a bravery surpassing that of any of the assembled armies of earth, he quotes. Faith will be tested, he says. Faith will be rewarded, he says. And says, and says, and says. Please don't misunderstand. I myself am a believer. I have been brought up in the faith, and I strive to adhere to it. However, I find it increasingly difficult to be a blind follower. For if we fear to ask questions of faith, is that not an admission of doubt? An acknowledgement that our faith, our rock, our shield, cannot withstand the slightest scrutiny. Father will have none of this. And our exchange escalates into shouts and angry tears. Know that we have been blessed beyond measure, he says, a pointed finger trembling inches from my face. Never forget, boy. Still, my questions persist. Lately, they grow in number. Forgive me, I don't mean to be so critical of my father. He is unshakable in his belief, and that can be inspiring. I think of my mother's recent passing. A man less devout might have abandoned his convictions, strayed from his path. Not my father. I'll also admit that, to those not ceaselessly subjected to his spoutings, father is quite charming. The impression he gives is not that of a wild-eyed zealot. He's patiently persuasive and has a certain charisma. Several people in our town have come around to his way of thinking, and they include some of our more notable residents, elected officials, captains of industry,
Oh, so he's a cult leader.
members of law enforcement,
Is it a sex cult?
good friends to have.
Okay.
I can see many of them now, as Father and I enter our clearing in the woods behind our home. Some avert their
I
eyes.
love cult leader. I love cult stuff.
Some
Wow,
avert their eyes. They're new. Others offer a friendly wave and a warm smile. Father is at it again, telling me about the demands of faith and the comfort that awaits after our earthly trials have ceased.
What?
A comfort
Is he gonna
no
sacrifice
less than
his kid?
eternity. All this talk about religion goes a long way towards explaining why my sister is bound upon the altar. It doesn't make what I've been told that I have to do any easier.
Wow. That's like a Goosebumps twist.
Wow. No, that's too dark.
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
That was good. That was a nice little,
It
that
was
was a nice little
given
bite.
6.11 stars out of 10.
And who wrote that?
This was written by...
6.11? That seems oddly specific.
This was submitted by... They don't really say on here. Wait. Let me double check here. It just says credited to Inscribe.
Oh.
Thank you for the creepypasta, Inscribe.
Well, if I happen to find the actual, person that wrote it, then
Yeah.
I'll
Maybe
let
they
you...
don't want to be found.
I'll write it in the description of this episode.
It did seem very Goosebumps to me, though.
Yeah, that was good. 'Cause
Now,
it was-
would you prefer we just chit-chat, or I can do one more short
Well,
one?
technically, we're at 9 minutes.
So,
Those are
I mean-
too many.
I mean-
you're going to chop up the
Let's
Rick and
just talk
Morty
about
stuff.
Pet Scott.
All right, so I have been following this YouTube channel for about a year now.
It's been a year?
I think it's been uploading, close to like a year and a half, I think. But it's pretty popular. I would say it's kind of like B movie level. Well, and I say that because like it's got a good enough like vague story to it that like you're interested, and it's picked up people like Game Theorist and a couple of like internet YouTube personalities that are trying to dissect it.
Man, I mean, God bless Game Theorist for going deep, but like it's kind of hard to listen to him sometimes.
I'm not gonna touch it.
Okay.
I've already dug into.
Bleep that out.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying.
I'm not gonna bleep everything, okay?
I'm not saying literally just like keep in the stuff from Rick and Morty, but just bleep it out. So just a really long beat.
A really long cat meow.
It's 5 minutes long.
But
I'm gonna bleep everything else out except for the phrase Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Dan Harmon. Anyways, what I will say about him and his theories is that I think that he writes pretty good. I mean, obviously,
Okay,
the guy's
wait. Tell people what Petscop is.
Hold
because...
on, I'm going to get to that.
No,
I'm
you're
just
already
saying,
talking about it.
No,
People
I'm just
don't know
saying
what it
real
is.
quick. I'm not saying about his theory about it. I'm just saying like he's obviously a good writer. He's got a pretty large following. But my only slight issue is that like in order for it to be like hooking an audience, it always has to be like, you know, big and, you know, it's super into the what if. So
Expose.
like a lot of his theories are like super out there, and if he can connect the dots enough to get you to follow, then it's like, oh wow, I wouldn't have thought of it like that, because like there's a specific one later that he has about Petscop that I was like, that's a big stretch. And the thing is, if it was to prove to be true, people would be like, oh, he called it. But if it doesn't, it's like, well, I mean, it was a good theory, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, Petscop itself. So it's this video that's almost like a Let's Play, but it's not. It's essentially a guy chronicalizing his discoveries of a abandoned PS1 era game.
Yeah, didn't it start as like a post on Reddit saying, "Hey, my mom found this game in like our attic or something like that, and I don't know what it is, and here's some video of it."
Yeah. And then like over the course, I think in total, at least currently, there's like 24 videos, but over the course of time, and they're all like chopped up into either like 13 to 20 minute long videos to like 3 minutes. It just depends. But he's like recording this for somebody, and he never really says who. A lot of people assume that it's like a friend of his, supposedly a female friend. It's hinted at, I think, in one of the videos.
Really?
I'm not some master genius about this thing. I've read several things, but like it's so perfectly vague that like connecting the dots is difficult, because there's like, what's he going through? What are the quote-unquote characters of the game going through?
Yeah.
What are the people that are mentioned that are, like, tied to the characters in the game going through? Who are these families? It's, like, layered really well.
Yeah.
But essentially, he's like, so I found this game, and it has a code on it, or, like, a message that was on the code.
Wow, you actually sound like him.
And it says, go into this room and input this password. I went into the stairs, and instead of going down into the next room, I turned right and became a shadow monster man, or something like that, along those lines.
Yeah.
So he does like what would be the regular playthrough. He explains like it's like a game where you capture these pets and you give them a home. And you're supposed to capture all the pets, but like there's one he can't capture, for instance. And then, but he goes to that room. He puts in the code. It's like press start, go down, 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 left, right. All the. It's like the game's version of a Konami code. And then from there, he exits the building, and it takes him into a completely different, like.
So before it's bright colors,
yeah,
happy
it's all
music.
like, oh, it's a PS1 game. Look at it. Yeah, very like
super happy, cutesy Japanese, almost like a Tomba or
Yeah,
Klonoa type PS1 game. And then it turns into like almost like a Silent Hill-esque.
Yeah, it's like dark. It's all grass texture. Sometimes like an underground, almost mine shaft looking area.
Yeah.
And then like some
Dystopian.
dark rooms.
It's really interesting. I mean, I would recommend if you're interested in stuff like that, like the Ben Drowned and the really silly creepypastas like that. I would recommend going and watching the like first maybe like set of videos, and then if you want to speed up the process, just go and watch maybe one of the game theorist videos.
Yeah, that's what McAnally did for
Maybe-
us, because there are 20 videos, but some of them are long and some of them are short.
Yeah, maybe not the first theory video he put. I keep forgetting that the first one he puts out isn't a theory about the game itself, but rather like the supposed connections to a real life murder, which was
Right.
really dark.
Yeah,
Like
pretty messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
not just
like,
in the death aspect or the murdering aspect, but just like everything that was involved with it was very messed up.
it was
like,
very disturbing and very triggering.
Yeah. It's not cool. But and the thing is like there's a lot of strong connections, like especially on Reddit. They're like, "Oh no, it's totally connected to that real life case." And like, okay, maybe it is. Maybe that's part of the inspiration for it, but like that wasn't the purpose in making the videos or the game.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he was also whoever made it, the actual guy.
So yeah, it's very interesting to see how this has come together, because it's not just like a random forum post. Like people are actually making this game. Like
Yeah.
it is an actual like game built
Oh,
in
it's a game
Unity
game?
or something like that.
So yeah, and that's the thing. It's apparently a team of people. I don't know how big.
Wait, they made the actual game?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought these were all just videos.
Or rather,
they're
so
videos,
like
but,
they
like-
have like some game development tool that they're using, and they're like,
Yeah,
they're not making a full game.
they're just
per
making
se.
like
yeah.
an experience that they walk through.
It makes
Okay.
sense, and this is not me just trying to like buddy up to your husband, but it makes sense if you take a video game making course and you realize that like you can make a broken, you
Yeah.
know, like
It's
'cause there's
basically
there's-
they built a set using a video game.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they did. That's
Sure.
what they did. So like I'm sure like whoever was doing it for the recording actually had to like move the character, play the character, but it's like they made like what 8 rooms, kind of a hub world,
Yeah.
and then some objects you can interact with a bunch of text boxes, and that's how they're telling their story.
Yeah,
So-
and a lot of the videos end with like, I found this door and I don't know how to open it,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I didn't know what to do with this thing. And then like in the interim between videos, I'm assuming they're building that stuff, because it's pretty low res stuff.
yeah.
And it's pretty, I mean, simple to make on the art side. It's just like programming and scripting it. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect since they're making the videos. They're not like
Yeah.
putting it in the hands of people and that will break it super easily.
Yeah. But
It's very interesting to see though.
they do a really good job of storytelling with it. Like I know, and you guys didn't make it this far into the actual videos because it's like video 20, and like the specific video is like 18 minutes long. But he finds out. I mean, it's implied he finds out, because the thing is, the recordings that's the thing. That's what's so interesting about it, is that like you have to understand that what you're watching is what he decides to upload about it.
Yeah.
So him narrating in the video, it's not like some other YouTuber that's like post credits or post production, like adding commentary to it.
Yeah.
Like it's story wise, like in the canon of him doing this, it's like, oh, this is me talking while I'm playing the game. And then like later on, he like cuts up the videos and uploads them. And 2 interesting facts about that without spoiling the thing so much. There's this strong connection to the demo screen,
Yeah.
where, you know, if you know games at all, you know that if you like go to the start screen of a game and you just don't touch it for like 30 seconds, it'll usually go into either a pre-rendered like cutscene that's like an intro, and then like it'll go into a demo that's like showing a gameplay of the game. Supposedly in the canon of Petscop, all of the demo screens, at least at first, everybody believed they were recordings of another person that had previously played. And that's half true. That's like you find files, or he finds files later that show that like, yeah, several other people had play tested it, and it was recorded and put into the game and used to like make the AI quote unquote stronger, if that's what's going on. But also like the 21st video or something like that, there's like this door that he cannot get through. And he starts spouting this mumbo jumbo. He's like, so I'm just going to test out something about, so I can't get through this door, but like I read a note about, you know, what if I imagine I can get through the door? So I'm just going to move as if I could go through the door. And so his playthrough, and this is where it gets really weird, his playthrough, he's just like walking into the door, like just like constantly walking, but then like he'll move the character like left, right, up, down, and then keep pressing the interact button. And he's like, so if I was in the room, I should be able to click on the desk and bring it. And so later, and it's either later or it's like in post-production, he's putting the videos side by side. In standing in front of the door, in the demo screen, he can go into the door.
Oh.
So in the it's saying demo at the top, but it's still him controlling it, and he is interacting with stuff. But the thing is, canon-wise, he can't see that. He doesn't know he's controlling the demo screen, so it's just like moving around randomly and clicking on stuff, and it clicks on like several objects that you can't see because it's a demo or something like that. But it's like, oh, what could it be? So it's like really well thought out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, because I honestly, after watching all of them, I still don't know.
It's essentially a murder mystery.
Yeah. So there's like...
So what you find out is that the pets that he was catching in the upper level, the really cutesy whatever level before he goes down and puts in that code, what you find out is the pets don't want to be caught.
Yeah.
It's a traumatizing and non-consensual experience for them, and that you're basically kidnapping them.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
you're
there's like
finding that, and then
there's
you're-
several like signs or something like that. It's like they won't like you at first, but it's okay. They'll learn to love you.
Yeah. And then when you go into the underground, you are actually capturing children.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
like
But the underground is really just a mirror of reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of theories about it, and without actually spoiling the videos of Petscop itself, I'll just kind of hint at what they were. It was like one of them is obviously the real life murder of, and I feel bad because I don't remember the name, but you can look it up. It's like, you know, real life murder connected to Petscop. The other thing is like this, and this is the one that's fictional, the supposed kidnapping of an actual little girl by her
Father, right?
yeah, her father, who's like losing custody of her, and like there's like a cutscene that shows that like he apparently broke into his own house and kidnapped her, and that it's implied that he kidnapped another kid, and that he said something or did something to them that made them feel like they didn't want to live anymore, which led to them taking their own lives, i.e. his own way of murdering people or something like that. And then there's like even more theories that are like the guy that's playing the game is connected to all this. Like supposedly he might have a brother or a cousin that was the guy that developed the game, and he's forgetting all this. And there's like maybe the guy who's playing it is somehow an AI. Like there gets some really weird science fiction-y stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's really crazy, but it's all very interesting. And like at the end of the day, regardless of whatever one of them might be closest to the truth, the videos themselves are just interesting to watch because it's like rather than forcefully telling you a story like a true creepypasta would, like playing the Slender Man game, it's like, oh man, you try to collect 8 pages and Slender Man comes and grabs you.
Yeah.
Like this one is really like what would happen if someone actually found like a screwed up game and is trying to figure it out as they go. Like, clearly the guy that's playing it, like, knows how games work, or, like, game development, I guess, because he's, like, saying some things here and there about, like, well, the code would do this if I was to do this, and, you know, I tried to interact with this and input this code. And so it's, like, clearly that's why people are assuming he's connected to the guy that made the game, because, like, clearly he knows something about game development, and that's why he's making these videos in the first place.
Yeah.
But the last interesting tidbit, and some people are assuming that the 24th video is officially the last one. People are hinting at that, but at the same time, I don't think they're done. But at some point, canonically, the guy stopped uploading videos.
Okay.
Somebody else was like, hey...
Yeah, because he stops talking.
Yeah, he stops...
Like, the videos just keep uploading.
He literally stops talking, like, I think in the 14th video, so that's like 10 more videos of just silence. But, like, on the YouTube channel, because the whole thing is so meta, on the YouTube channel, it originally said, my name is... Or it might not have said his name. It was like, I uploaded these because I found this game. Then it got updated, like, a year into it, and it was like, he no longer uploads the videos. We asked him if he consented to us taking the videos and continuing to update them. he agreed to it or something like that. So it's like implying that there's like these two new people that are like still asking him to play the game, and then they're taking the videos and editing them and putting them up. So it's like, what's going on? So yeah,
that's interesting. The AI theory is interesting, but like I think the one thing that gives it credit to me is that there is an instance in the video where he does the same thing twice and says the same exact thing twice. And doesn't really seem to notice or like remark on it. It's really weird, and it's like it's glossed over, and I don't think. Yeah, it's almost like he's playing the part.
Yeah, and you're thinking that he has to be a guy with a controller, and you do hear like room noises, and they do imply that like a person is in a room. I don't know, but like whenever he repeats himself. He goes into the same room he went into, does this almost the same exact movements, pauses for a second, like not pauses the game, but like stops moving for a second, and then just keeps going. He's like, well, that was weird. And in the first recording, because that's like the second time you see it, in the first time he does it, he goes, is that? Oh, that was weird. As if he had saw himself.
Oh.
And so a lot of people are like, is he literally the two-dimensional character? Because like, you don't see the character a second time.
Yeah.
But because he had done the movements twice, and so it's so crazy, it's so weird. Yeah. And also like there's this big thing about like and he does this in like the second video. He moves, he says something about that thing, that item on the right, but it's like on the left.
Yeah.
And he even moves to the left, referring to it as his right.
Yeah.
And then a silent player, whoever it is in the last few videos, is like moving left and right frantically, like they're confused, and they go into the game menu, and it shows that the controls for left and right are actually flipped.
Whoa. Okay.
So that's why he would have confused that, because his left is his right. It's
that gives credence to the idea that he's an AI in the game.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
It's so crazy because like, and so the way it gets really science fiction is there's like this implication that if they can create a proper AI, they also have a way of pulling it out of the game. I don't know. That's why supposedly he's in a room and he's moving around.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What I will say, though, is that this game is like really tense and very enthralling.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, nothing's going to jump out, right? There's not going to be a jump scare, right? And there never is. So I'll warn you, if you get like freaked out easily, just be assured that our battery. Just be reassured that like there's no jump scares and there's not going to be
there's
like
maybe
any
like one instance of a loud noise. But
yeah,
like,
there's a loud noise, but like there's no cheap scares.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I was tense and stressed about. But it's really interesting. If I like it, then obviously you should check it out. So.
Yeah, Petscop, very interesting.
That is PETSCOP.
Which I guess is like pets cop, I'm assuming.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's what I
That's so basic.
immediately thought it was.
I should have. Petscop.
Like a cop for pets.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, so this has been a mini-sode. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple things to talk about.
Okay.
So our new Instagram is at It's Haunted Podcast. ITSHAUNTED podcast. It's Haunted Podcast. Yeah, so check it out. I can't.
How did Rory already follow us?
He follows me.
Oh, did you post about it?
I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Anyway, so check it out. Check our new Instagram out at It's Haunted Podcast. And secondly, the next episode that we will be dropping is the introduction episode to our movie podcast.
Oh yeah, world exclusive, baby.
You guys asked, and we are providing this. New podcast is called So Anyway We Watched It. It is a movie and maybe video games. Maybe I'll let you guys talk about video games. I don't know.
I actually think we're pretty solid with talking about movies.
Yeah.
Sure.
Unless
Anyway.
it's a video game movie, like we tried to watch.
Oh, we'll talk about it. We're going to talk
Detective
about it.
Pikachu.
We're going to talk about it. Anyway, yeah, so look forward to our next episode dropping. It's going to be the introductory episode. It's going to be awesome, dude. We're going to be talking about our favorite movies that have, like, molded us, influenced us, movies we love, movies we laugh with, movies we cry with, and stuff like that. And let us know what you think.
Okay.
Woo!
You can find So Anyway It's Haunted on Instagram, on Facebook, on Stitcher, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on iTunes,
Podbean.
on Podbean as well. We do have a lot of listeners on Podbean.
Surprisingly,
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are on Podbean, and I don't know if they also have podcasts because it's just like a hosting website.
Oh yeah.
So, but you can, whatever, dude.
Totally. If you want to check
Whatever
it out.
happens.
Do what you want.
And
what you
just to
want.
clarify, we are back with like regular podcasts too. Like we got our homework done. We are ready.
Yeah,
to
we're
rock.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday to Mac and Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
And we got another birthday, two more birthdays coming up this month. Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other Christopher. Who's not here and who doesn't care about this podcast and who doesn't listen to it.
You know that guy that was sleeping in the first few episodes.
Yeah, that
Remember
one.
him?
He told us this creepypasta.
That is true.
He did. He was the first
He was
one.
the first creepypasta corner.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then my birthday is in August, which is awesome. So yeah, dudes, we're back. We're all here.
Okay.
Our favorite movie, we're all here.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You're
With
No,
Dan Bloth.
We're back. Is what.
we're all here.
Okay.
We're all here.
Roll back the rock.
Cool. So see you later.
Bye, guys.